Do it. Hello, and welcome to the Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ockman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. I almost said hey before I even announced you. But what's up? Cobra time. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I learned a new way to eat pizza. After watching Cobra. Whose turn is it to describe the movie? Is it your turn this week, Chris?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Yeah. Okay.
So Cobra. Go ahead, Rob.
I said I'm great. We watched Cobra. I learned a new way to eat pizza. It's Chris' turn to talk about the movie.
Before I toss it to you, Bob, I'll just say Marion Cobretti is a hard-nosed cop who, has a stiff upper lip and a way of dealing with terrorists that plague the town of, I guess, L.A. or something like that. And that way is to beat them senseless or shoot them or stab them. And other cops don't like that because it's not legal and it's like totally ridiculous. But that's the way he does things. And he saves a girl from like a death cult, I guess, in this movie. So we're going to detail how he does that for you after we hear from Bob. How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing okay. I'm about to next week. I may be missing the podcast to interview Greg Sestero from The Room.
That's right.
Even if I don't miss the pod, I'm teaching a coding camp next week, which it doesn't mean anything in terms of movies because I learned this week that Stallone should have stopped writing after Rocky.
Yes, yeah. I couldn't agree more. The fact that the same guy wrote this and Rocky is amazing. It amazes me.
Yeah. Bob's going to be watching Hidden Figures all week to prepare for his coding boot camps.
Hidden Figures. Oh, Christ, that movie sucks so bad.
Well, speaking of movies sucking really bad, let's see how YouTube patrons feel about this movie, Cobra.
Yep. I got this off. I went to the paid version to look at the comments because, like I've said in the past, YouTube is a measuring stick for mental illness, and B, the paid version is an amplified version of that because people are throwing down money willingly to watch this. They're not just streaming it on Tubi. They're throwing down $4 to get it in high def.
Can't wait.
All right. This is one of those underrated films from the 80s that often gets overlooked. It's a gem of a find. Sly is awesome.
You agree.
I remember this movie creeped me out as a kid. I had dreams I was being gutted by that big ass knife. LOL, this movie is badass. I love it. Next comment. Love this in the mid 80s and still in 2020. This is a classic. Next comment. This movie gave me so much nightmares as a kid. It was also the reason why subconsciously I was afraid of hospitals, I now realized. Next comment. To be honest, this is one of my favorite Stallone films. Next comment. This movie inspired me to be a bylaw peace officer. When I'm in uniform, I dress up like Cobra. Even my motto is, breaking bylaws are the disease. I'm the cure. Next comment. That's somebody who upholds the law, who takes this movie seriously. Next comment. This movie taught everyone how to eat pizza the right way, the Cobra way. LOL. And this one, I need to read out the emojis on this one. And he damn sure was bad to the bone. Chicken leg bone emoji. And his shades don't get messed up one time. The rolling laughing emoji. Go head on, Sylvester Stallone, one of my all-time forever favorite actors next to Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Rolling laughing emoji. Love me some Scarface. Rolling laughing emoji.
What the hell is going on in that person's head?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess your guess for test number 1, the worst of its kind, is going to be kind of high. This is the test where we compare the movie in question to those in the surrounding community. Let's take it away with test number 1, the worst of its kind.
I think you might have a really big load of grumpy, petrified poop up your soul's ass.
Which is the worst of its kind?
Well, it normally starts with a movie that the lead is also in. This one we mentioned already, believe it or not. At a 92, Stallone stars in Rocky.
Oh.
Okay.
A hell of a movie. I like the... I think we should probably do Rocky 4 on this pod, but I still like it.
No. 3.
3's worse?
3's worse.
Wow. Damn. Commando with Arnold. One we have done on this podcast, a 67.
Yeah.
Another one that I think we should do, haven't done, but we did its brother, Kickboxer, is Bloodsport with JCVD at a 46.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lethal Weapon with Gibson and Glover in 82. Lethal Weapon 2, excuse me. Lethal Weapon. I don't know why it didn't give me 1. It gave me 2. 82
Those are
there.
fun movies. Those are very...
Yeah,
they're
good
not
buddy cop
great,
action
but
movies.
they're fun, yeah. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
It's up there with Rush Hour 3.
And then the last one, a 67 for Connery, Cage, and Ed Harris in The Rock.
Oh, wow.
Another movie I really like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just having grown up around it. That gives us an average of 70.8. What do you guys think that Cobra had?
90. 91.
15.
91. Bob is much closer to the mark. It was an 18, giving us a negative 52.8 and worst of its kind. Really nice score. We'll see how it stacks up against our current season champion later. As for now, we will throw it to test number 2. Here's where we summarize the movie once more for you, this time with a little more fun in a limerick. Number 2, Ain't That a Pitch? Test number 2.
Oh, hi, Mark. This is the beginning of a scene. We talk about the movie, make the movie about the movie. In this case, The Room.
Ain't that a bitch?
Hooray.
So excited.
Who goes first?
I guess, is it my turn? I have no idea.
I don't know either. I'll go.
I've lost track. I went last time, so I'll go first this time.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. There once was this guy, Sly, who wasn't thinking and wrote a script that probably needed some tinkering. With a worse soundtrack than your and more nonsense you can't ignore. And what the fuck was up with all the axe clinking?
There was a lot of axe clicking. All right, I don't think I should finish this off because mine's not great. It's a little sarcastic. Can I go second, Rob?
Yeah, go for it, man.
A hard-nosed, ripped cop is Marion Cobretti, with guns, knives, and fists all at the ready. He saves a girl from assault, from a dangerous cult, in this rip-roaring piece of 80s action spaghetti.
All
right.
Not bad. You undersold
Yeah,
yourself
not
on that. That was pretty good.
Thanks.
All right. There once was a man named Sly who used scissors to cut his pizza pie. He saved the damsel in distress, put his car to the test, and made sure that the night slasher died.
Dude, Rob, 5.
Yeah, Rob 4 because of the pizza.
Okay.
cutting.
All right. Cool.
4.5, right?
Very nice, Rob. Yeah, 4.5. We'll see who won last week with Old Dogs later. For now, I'll jot that down as we head to test number 3, the most offensive.
Cool. Hey, do you guys want to talk about all the offensive parts that we witnessed in this movie?
In a few minutes, bitch.
Never gets old. You know, in the...
No, I'm still...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still blown away that none of us talked about the bumpers together and we all did a room bumper.
Yeah, we did.
I went down like a rabbit hole a while back, like shortly after we did this episode, and apparently that scene had to be reshot several times because the crew was laughing so loud in a few minutes.
Yes. I came across that myself. So what we're doing here is we're giving you all of the things that we notice that are offensive nowadays. Sometimes offensive even then, in poor taste, what have you. Starting with number 1, murder on aisle 5.
Yep.
I thought it was pretty weird in the store. Right in the beginning, this bad guy, he's like a typical bad guy who just like has nothing to lose, so he starts shooting up a store. He like decides really late that he's gonna kill somebody, which I was surprised by, and he had the guy run away and then shoots him in the back.
Yeah,
not sure what the game was about.
He barges in, he starts shooting beans and soda, and then nothing for a while. Then he just shoots a guy in the back with a shotgun, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, they're telling him he's free to go.
Yeah.
That's what's fucked up. Number 2, Mid-madman-mission marketing. So Cabretti goes in there, and he's going to take down this bad guy that's shooting. And he takes the time to crack open a Coors Light and start drinking it. People's lives are at stake, and he's drinking, having a merry old time.
It was regular Coors, Chris.
Yeah. It was
I'm sorry. I forgot that exists. It is only Coors Light for me.
Yeah.
Number 3, car chase with key witness cargo.
Yep.
He didn't have to. So after there's a shootout, he decides to chase down a bunch of bad guys in their cars with the key witness who can finger the bad guy on in the passenger seat of his car, putting her life at risk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. I thought you were about to say something.
No, that was just my finger.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, nice finger.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's a theme we've been running with, and I don't know if we can confirm, but I'm pretty sure there was number 4, some cop witness bing-bong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Not
come
confirmed,
on.
but yes, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, she's like, come over here, and he's like, you should be sleeping. She's like, but I want to have sex, and he's like, all right, I'll have sex with you, and he goes over there. So I'm pretty sure it happened.
It happened. Yeah, it totally happened.
All right, number 5, and I've got 3 more. 2 of them are clips, actually. Number 5, you got to come along with me on this journey. Naming Nielsen nuts. Did you know? Do you know what the character's name is?
No.
I think her name is. She was like a police database, and you see the screen, or the hospital database, and you see the screen of her room, and her name is Ingrid Knudsen. so I guess she looked at like Eastern European enough that they changed her name from Bridget Nielsen to Ingrid Knudsen. Just thought it was a pretty funny name to choose. Let's throw it to the first clip of the most offensive. It probably should be the last of the offensive, but we'll go with it now. And this one is number 6. It's called Creep.
It's all right. I'll take it from here. You sure? No problem. Her car's right over there. Okay. Well, you're in good hands. Good night. So listen, I still think if you wanted to, you could be doing a lot bigger layouts. I mean, it's up to you, but I could help.
I don't want to have to play all these games.
Games? What, games?
You know what games?
Look, I'd be sick not to want to sleep with you. Okay, then don't do it for me. Do it for your career.
Why? You something?
It's not like I'm asking you to marry me. So I can see it's going to take some time to make you change your mind. So where do you want to eat?
Please, Dad, I'm not hungry.
Look, I'm not doing this for me. Really. Look, I'm just trying to help you find happiness.
Damn.
He's trying every trick in the scumbag book, huh?
And kids, that is the story of how I met your mother.
He's trying to put the nut in Knudsen, huh?
Yeah, he is. Literally.
Man, oh man. Yeah, you don't have to explain that one. You heard it for yourself. That guy is just trying as hard as he can to get laid by what they say is an attractive supermodel. I might have other feelings, but we'll get to that in the catch-all. How about another clip for the most offensive? We're doing 2 this week, a little unusual, but I like it. Let's go with hard feelings.
Cobra, no hard feelings. You kind of overdid it around here. I personally would have looked for a more subtle solution, but that's not your style. No hard feelings.
No hard feelings, pal.
No. Ow.
Cobra. Come on, I'll give you a lift.
Nah, I got my own transportation. You ready?
Ready, Marion.
Catch your name, is it?
As he rides off into the sunset.
The guy that comes over is like the chief of police, and he just watched Marion Cobretti punch, I forget the other guy's name, in the face.
Yeah.
Another cop, assaulting another cop, and he's like, hey, you need a lift? He doesn't say a fucking word about it. He's like, yeah, I guess he deserved it. I don't know. Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. You guys want to mention anything I missed?
No, I got mostly catch-all stuff.
Yeah, not for bad taste, no.
Okay. Yeah, I was surprised. It's funny that Old Dogs had more outrageous content than Cobra. You would think that an 80s slasher action movie would have more offensive than Old Dogs, but we'll see how the individual offensive things stack up against each other later. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Test number 4, the worst dialogue.
Do you like what you see? Would you like to touch what you see? Would you like to go out with me? Would you like to fuck me?
Just the worst dialogue.
Yeah.
All right. There's plenty of it here. So we're going to do all 5 clips. I'm thinking about next season going back to doing some voice work myself. I think it'd be funny if I had to do like Bridget Nielsen. You know, I realized that if I had to do like, you know, a 6 foot tall, like Scandinavian woman, it'd be funny. Yeah. But all right. Number 5. Judge.
Can I ask you something?
Sure, what's that?
Why were you fighting with the other police?
Well, sometimes they don't buy what I believe.
There's all these crazy people everywhere. Why can't the police just put them away and keep them away?
I tell it to the judge.
What do you mean?
We put them away, they let them out.
Makes me sick.
Like I said, you gotta tell it to the judge.
Yeah.
You gotta tell it to the judge. That's typical blue-collar Stallone using blue-collar language to appeal to blue-collar people watching this blue-collar movie, I guess. Pretty lame.
Disappointing lack of Bruce Springsteen on the soundtrack now that you frame it that way.
Yeah, you know, that would, and some Neil Diamond would have gotten there.
This is your hometown. Yeah.
Well, they did okay by me because they brought in Robert Tepper. Or Tepper, I think it's Tepper, but I had this in the catch-all. Robert Tepper did Angel in the City, I believe it was, for this movie, which sucked. Yeah. But in Rocky IV, which we mentioned already, he did There's No Easy Way Out. Down, there's no shit. And that song fucking it bangs. It's such a good song.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Number 4, yard. This is Little One.
You almost got everyone killed doing it your way. Now maybe you'll do it the right way.
They've got somebody on the inside.
Hard accusation, Cabretti. Can you prove it?
Huh? Chief Hello, I was asking for an answer.
Not yet.
Look, I understand what we're dealing with. Just don't make things harder than they are. Monty tells me you're withholding a sketch of the suspected killer. What is this, a goddamn game?
You didn't say the magic word.
What magic word?
Please.
All right, enough of this bullshit. Do you understand?
You bet. That's it.
That's it.
Cobretti, do you know you have an attitude problem?
Yeah, but it's just a little one.
Oh.
No.
So bad.
No,
what is that? Is that a laugh line? Or
Yeah.
was that a tough guy line? What was that? That didn't translate. I think it might have been humor, right?
He's acknowledging his egregious acts of the wanton destruction of property, which should be added to the.
Yes. Yes, that should have been the most offensive.
He's downplaying it, you know?
Yeah,
and the mayor's going to have my ass. He's like, oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just, I get the killer. I might destroy the whole town in the process, and I might kill some innocent people, but it's just a little problem. Anyway, we're going to throw it to number 3. Meat.
Great day for junk food, babe.
Why don't you add a little meat to your diet?
No, thanks. I hate frog legs.
What?
Hi.
Hi.
You want?
Thank you.
Fellow garbage belly. How you doing?
All right, what about you?
Not bad.
Where are we going?
You're gonna have to ask Cobra. He's the expert on this.
He doesn't look like an expert, does he?
I know. He looks like a fugitive from the 50s, but he sure is great at catching psychos. He's a part of the zombie squad.
What's the zombie squad?
The bottom line.
Fuck, he's good.
That's exactly what that was. So we said this before in our text, but Stallone is also a narcissist, clearly, because he had a lot of power in this movie, and it's one of those fuck he's good movies, like Rob puts it, which is a great way to put it. But he's a little more subtle.
Yeah,
like his garbage belly friend would have been like, I saw him take out 57 mobsters in Albany, New York, 32 days ago, and it was like he would have been like given all the pump to his character, but it's not a Seagal movie, it's a Stallone movie, so it's a little more subtle than that.
You want
He's
the part
of the zombies.
This guy's the commander. You leave him in Venezuela with a bikini underwear, and he'll show up with 50,000 pesos and $1 million file.
He's the patron saint of problem fixing. Now he's part of the zombie squad, which they keep saying because I think they thought it sounded cool, but they don't explain what that is.
Yeah, they never do.
Like it's an elite group or something. The only explanation we got, you just heard, in that it's like guys who get things done or whatever the guy says. Yeah. The bottom line, he called them.
In that clip, by the way, he was drinking a Coca-Cola Classic, which was a throwback Coke that was only available like that 1 or 2 years. So it like really dated themselves with that one.
Really? I remember I saw
because they had Pepsi too.
Not only that, but in the opening grocery store scene, Stallone was in front of a Pepsi case with Pepsi Free, which was only around for a couple of years, and Slice, which is only around for a couple of years.
Slice,
Slice was the
orange
Sprite knockoff.
I thought it was okay.
There were several flavors of Slice. One of them was orange, one was lemon lime, one was et cetera, et cetera. But that was the Pepsi knockoff of Sprite.
Well, thank you for that dalliance in soda history. It's actually something I find interesting because we did Aaron and I watched a Hulu episode on the making of like giant corporations, and one of them was about the Coke and Pepsi battle, and they did detail some of the like Coke and Pepsi missteps along the way, where they did things like, oh, we're rebranding and we're making the Coke taste more like Pepsi because people prefer the taste of Pepsi. And then it bombs because the Coke fans are like, fuck that. And it was just a really interesting thing. It's on.
You know what? I heard
that it's all outlined in this movie, all of it.
I heard that
Yes.
New Coke was invented knowing they would go back to Coke Classic because they wanted to transition from cane sugar to high fructose corn syrup. And if they went to a really awful tasting soda that went back to the original formula but swapped out the sugar with the syrup, people wouldn't notice.
That's kind of how they put it in this documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. Fair.
Anyway.
I think we need a spin-off podcast. Sorry.
3 guys and their soda. Yeah.
I love it. The worst soda ever made.
Yeah.
All right, number
1, Daddy.
No. Try it again, Rob. It's number.
Oh, my bad. Wrong button.
Well, it's okay. We get to hear Lousy Shot now.
Ooh.
Hey, dirtbag. You're a lousy shot. I don't like lousy shots. You wasted a kid. For nothing. Now I think it's time to waste you.
Come on, man. I got a bomb here. A killer. I'll blow this whole place up.
Go ahead. I don't shop here.
Too long.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I had to include I don't shop here. Go ahead, blow up the store. I don't shop here. Kill everybody in this place. I don't shop here.
That's a good. That is good. You're right.
I don't have a club card, so just waste fucking everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that or the he's like, you lousy shot, and I don't like lousy shots. I don't know. I don't know which one's better, but that's
honestly
great.
That is hard to. That's almost 2. That's almost 2 right there.
Yeah, I could have separated them. But.
You know what though? And he wasn't a bad shot. He shot a moving target with like a shotgun that has a massive kickback, and he's clearly not of the right mind. So like,
yeah, true.
But
good. Then maybe in the beginning he was actually trying to hit people when he was shooting soda and beans.
No, I think he was trying to hit soda and beans.
Soda and beans.
All right, now it's time for number
1, Daddy.
And a drum.
You know what? Fuck it.
Okay, this is typical trope dialogue, but just listen to what he says at the end. I couldn't believe it. I had to listen to it over and over again. Number 1 is sucka.
You won't do it, pig. You won't shoot. Murder is against the law. You have to take me in. If you can. Even I have rights. Don't I? Pig. Take me in. They'll say I'm insane. Won't they? The court is civilized, isn't it? Pig.
But I'm not. This is where the law stops. And I start. Sucker.
Reminds me of Dread. I am the law.
Yeah, it did sound like Dread. It sounded like Dread and like Demolition Man. But at the very end, it sounded like Booker T, the wrestler, because he goes, sucker.
Sucker.
I couldn't believe he called him sucker at the end. All right, cool. There's that. I mean, the bad guy we've seen before. I have this in catch-all, but I'll do it now. Can you guys think of the movie that we did on the pod where that man, Brian Thompson,
shoot,
is featured?
Is it Kickboxer?
Oh man, you're so close. You are on the exact right track. That Bloodsport and Kickboxer, that being the movie I'm talking about, are like the 3 we must do.
What was it then?
Was it the guy with the weird face from Grease 2?
No. Bob, I don't know if you were part of the pod yet. I'm pretty sure you were, though. But it's that far back. It's Lionheart.
Oh,
yes, I was there. Yes,
yeah,
Lionheart. That's it. Leon. Yes.
Yeah, he's the right-hand man to the rich woman that's got him in the fighting ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked through his filmography because I was like, he's going to be in Cyborg, or he's going to, it's going to be 3 movies that he's in that we've done already. But no, that's the only one he was featured in. His name is Brian Thompson, and he is an ugly mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he's a nice guy. Anyway, let's throw it to Rob's ad read.
Sure.
Hi, kids. It's me, Ronald McDonald, and I'm on the set of my very first motion picture ever. It's a movie called Mac and Me, and it stars my little friend from outer space here. His name is Mac, and I want to introduce you to him. Mac?
Rob's ad read.
This is the end of our our bad movie season. We're doing a good movie next week, which we'll announce at the end of the show. So, a longtime sponsor has asked me to. These are our highest rated episodes, typically speaking. So they asked me to give them a plug. So here we go. Today's episode of the worst movie ever made is brought to you by microwaved hot dogs at 3 a.m. Where did we last leave off? Oh yes, the pounding at your motel door starts to match the pounding inside your own head. The days have bled together, and you can only assume that the front desk is doing a wellness check. Normally, when the do not disturb sign is hung from the doorknob for more than 48 hours, it's only a matter of time before you're reported missing by your loved ones and presumed dead by the motel staff. Loved ones? Ha! You wish. You wish you were in danger. You wish your life was truly on the line and there were enough people to care about you to form a search party. But really, you're just in between opportunities and that bitch Marlene took you for all you got. As you wait to hear back from the many recruiters you reach out to, you're spending your days reading beach bum books by the motel swimming pool and playing RPGs on your laptop between what can only be described as vigorous jerk-off sessions. The doorknob, sticky. The taquitos on your paper plate, deflated, cold, and devoid of crunch. Your dreams, dead. But the microwave is vaguely clean and doesn't even have any cum in it, to the best of your recollection. The hot dogs are at room temp and have been so for days. But it's nothing a little spit shine can't fix. Hot dogs at 3 a.m. Embrace your new life and succumb to the glizzy.
Can succumb to the glizzy be in the write-up, but in all caps?
Yes.
I really want to make that a shirt. No, we need merch.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to test number 5, the worst production, Bob.
Yep.
The worst movie ever made presents the worst production.
You can't even draw stick figures. Your cartoons aren't even funny enough to be on the Family Channel. You stink.
Hey guys, just came by to pick up the finished film.
I'm gonna miss that bumper next season.
Yes, you are. The worst production this week is brought to you by Soda, Beans, and Pig. All right. So I called the worst production this week rewrites and cuts. And it's kind of a long one. I apologize for the length of this one. So this was written with elements of the novel called Fair Game, which, by the way, was made into a movie of its own with Billy Baldwin and Cindy Crawford, which
No way.
I'm nominating for next season every week until it wins. Okay.
Okay, sick. Sounds
all right,
great.
but really, Stallone had his own script that went way higher. So Stallone wrote his own script based on Fair Game, but it was really his own script that went way higher of a budget than what the studio wanted. But because Rambo was a success, they allowed it.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, after they filmed it, it was given an X rating. But
okay.
There was so much graphic, bloody violence they had to cut, and then they ended up cutting it so much more because of just runtime. Mm-hmm. So there was inconsistency, there were continuity errors, and because it was cut so much, it just didn't make any sense. Now, some of the cuts they made were the first murder victim had her hands cut off. There was an extended autopsy scene. There was lingering shots of naked and mutilated bodies. There was a longer death for the photographer. Remember the photographer that died in the parking garage?
Yeah, by axe.
He was slipping on his own blood trying to escape. and then there were more townspeople being killed during that last motorcycle chase. And part of that was somebody getting hit in the face with an axe.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's a fun fact you're not going to find in Fact or No Fact. The body count of this movie was 52.
Wow.
With 41 of them being killed by Cabretti.
let me ask you this, Bob. In your research, did you know whether or not Stallone wrote this with crayons? His script with like construction paper.
I think it was construction paper, crayons, and some cray paper.
Okay. Thought so.
Give me blue. I like blue. I write my scripts with blue.
You're right, Chris. That's exactly what I read.
Okay, rewrites and cuts going in. Yeah, we'll see what we prefer later. But for now, let's throw in some worst acting. And test number 6, the worst acting.
Not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Just the worst acting.
Okay, I'm so lazy that I didn't look up the translation for this. So maybe after the clip, one of you guys can tell me, or maybe the three of us will just look dumb. But number 1 is Pinche.
What's your problema, sissy? You touched my car, man. Get it, Mando.
Get it for your health, you know?
What is pinche? Yeah, it's
Me.
You're good.
Clean up your act.
Chinga tu madre, pinche Otto!
Yeah! Good trouble, man!
Hey, Stupido! You told him,
Teach him, Mando.
Yeah, all right. No.
Okay, I looked it up. Pinche by itself means lousy.
Yes, I looked it up too.
The colloquial term pinche hoto is fucking jack.
Fucking Jack?
Yeah.
Jack is a typical American name, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuck
maybe.
Jack. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen here, Jack. I just love when Cobretti grabs him, the guy who was in his parking spot, I guess, by the shirt. Mm-hmm. Actually, I should say, he does rip his shirt. But before that, he says, it's bad for your health. And he's like, what? And he like crumples up his cigarette. And you think he's talking about smoking, but he's like, me. It's just like such a cool fucking line. And then the guy says pinche hoto, which I didn't know meant lousy Jack, but now I do. And then he turns and he kicks Cobretti's tire. That's his retaliation.
Yeah, but the guy's wearing a wire. Like, what is that supposed to mean?
It must have been, speaking of your continuity errors that I just found out about, Bob, there had to have had some significance at some point in one of the earlier iterations or something, right?
I guess. I don't know. Like, he was wearing a wire and he like exposed it right away. And I'm like, was that supposed to be like a thing? And then they showed him later in a different shot. I don't know.
Did he rip his shirt off to show his cronies that he's not who he thinks they are or something? Yeah.
I assume in the cut it was probably the bad cop, right? That wired him up. Am I crazy? I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't even realize he was wired. You're talking about the guy who calls him Pinche. When he rips his shirt, it's to expose the wire.
Well, he ripped his shirt and there was a wire on him, and I don't understand what the wire was all about.
You know what? That might have just been like, you know how like the boom mic sometimes comes into the shot? That could have just been like the actor's mic for filming.
Stallone was just riffing when he ripped the guy's shirt.
Did you see it? I saw it. Like, plain as day, I saw it.
Yeah, because I've done interviews before, like for radio and shit, and you wear like a little lapel clip under your shirt. So it might have just been like just like the sound guys. It could have been like a technical, like something that you weren't supposed to see. No,
that's hysterical.
Yeah,
I hope that's what it was.
And it's funny that we don't know which it is.
Exactly.
Never explain it.
It was never clarified.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Oh man, this is so gross. This is King Cobra.
This thing's so far out of control, I don't know where to start. Start with the legal problems. Of course we're gonna have legal problems. This city's become one big goddamn battlefield.
I don't want to hear this shit anymore. In about 3 days, the public's going to be screaming for federal assistance. I don't want FBI in here.
Right, we got enough manpower here to handle it, so why can't we keep this under control?
Because we're not up against one man. We're up against an army of killers. I keep telling you guys that.
How do you know that?
I know, all right?
You know. Well, this army theory sounds weak.
Does it really?
Yeah, real weak. I mean, what have you guys got, besides one scared woman, to back up anything you say? And your idea of taking her out of the city for protection is ridiculous.
It is?
Yes, this is where the security is.
Monty has a point. Maybe she'll be safer here where we can keep an eye on her instead of upstate.
It won't work.
Why not?
Because we're dealing with fanatics who'll do anything to waste her. That's why.
Excuse me, gentlemen, but I gotta say what I think. And I think this whole sorry ordeal is like some damn sick joke, if you ask me.
Nobody asked you money.
Well, that's just too bad, isn't it? Come on, let's face it. He doesn't give a rat's ass for this girl. She's just another piece of live bait, so King Cobra here can cut a new notch. You've already caused a lot of people to die. How about letting her live?
I already told you. The only way you can kill Man Bear Pig is with molten hot lead, but no one's doing cereal. It's cereal.
Yeah, I thought every one of those like cops office scenes where they're talking about what to do and how to plan for the future with this like murderous cult about all of it was bad. It's like everybody's just waiting for their turn to speak.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about whether or not they're delivering their lines convincingly. I think Monty might have been the most convincing actor of the bunch.
Yeah.
And he's just annoying, so I didn't even want to like him.
Is that the guy from Hellraiser?
Yes. That's the father from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. He was on our podcast too. I knew I recognized him and I was like, man, why? Why? I don't know why. Well, there you go. Number 3. Car.
Come on. You did your best. You don't feel guilty.
Well, that's nice of you. You gonna be all right?
I'm gonna miss the dance finals.
Listen, can I get you anything?
Yeah. I would kill for some. What? Gummy bears.
Gummy bears. I'll see you at the hospital.
Keep in touch.
Don't drive too fast.
Easy.
All right.
All right, you guys, leave it off.
Cobra, you did a hell of a job here. If you ever want to get a transfer from the zombie squad to something easier, or you need anything, just say the word.
Well, I would like to have my car replaced.
Yeah. We'd like to, but it's not in the budget. Well.
Why did they add that in?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what
You'd
we
like
call,
to.
That's what we call a Stallone cut.
But paying for all the legal issues you just created, we is in the budget. Don't worry.
Yeah, we have all that. No problem. So he's talking to Garbage Belly, who took a shot in his Garbage Belly for Stallone or for Cobra, I should say. And he's like, the Garbage Belly guy goes, I'm going to miss the dance finals.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is he talking about? Is this a scene that they got rid of? It's
probably.
I can't imagine they got rid of a scene in this movie.
Or yeah, right. It's one of those continuity issues where they might have had a line somewhere where the guy was like really into
dancing.
Kind of
I don't
know.
Let's go ahead and find this guy because I want to watch like America Could Dance, on Sunday. And then like the operation went like longer than it should have, and he missed it.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's going to the hospital where they don't have cable, I guess,
or gummy bears. Yeah.
Well, that's the next funny line is like, he's like, "Can I get you anything?" He's like, "I would kill for some gummy bears." Just I don't know. It's supposed to be character development, right? Like we're supposed to think it's cool that there's like the tough cop, who's been on the street for years is into junk food so much, like he likes candy.
Yeah.
I don't know, like liking candy kind of makes you soft, right? Isn't that one of the things? Like if you're a man who likes candy, you're kind of a little bitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bad teeth at least.
Yeah. And then yeah, of course the hey, I'd like a new car. He's like, I'll get you anything you want, Cobra. Let me know. He's like, a new car. He's like, no. It's like, why did they even bother? Why did they add that in? I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, right after that, they punch or Cobra punches Monty right in the face.
Yeah.
That's the scene. Like basically just transitions right into that.
Right.
All right, that's what we've got for bad acting. Let's find out what's true and what's lies. In fact or no fact, Bob, take it away.
Fact or no fact.
Money now and a lot more when I get in that office. You can take that to the bank.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. Blood bank. The blood bank.
I have that saved in my camera roll. Just that one quote.
Yeah.
And I watch it like probably 20 times a day. I don't know why. I'm looking at pictures I took of the kids I could send to my wife so she could have them on her phone. I'm like, oh yeah, there's the blood bank one. I'm just like, yeah.
It's good. It's got a good little drum thing going. Okay, so the movie was called Cobra, and I just shortened it to a text I get from my daughter very frequently. It just says "bruh."
Bruh.
She gets upset. She gets impatient with me, and she just goes "bruh." Anyway,
my friend Jay does that too.
Yeah.
Well, wait until your kids become your friends, and that's exactly what the shit you're gonna get.
Great. Can't wait.
All right, so we got 4 facts and 1 lie. Yep. Find the lie, find the fact. Here we go. First one, the supporting cast and extras were forbidden from talking to Stallone on set. Second one, the final chase and kill spree was originally set at night, but mosquitoes at night were too much of a problem, so they changed it to daytime. Okay, third one, the author of the book this was loosely based on sued to get his name off the credits, but lost. Fourth, in an interview with Stallone, this is for Rob especially, because he mentioned it, he described the character of Marion Cobretti as Bruce Springsteen with a badge.
No
and
shit.
The last one, the script for Cobra was originally a rewrite for Beverly Hills Cop.
Huh.
Yeah, take that.
I gotta find the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I want to believe number one, I want to say, even though he's kind of full of himself, I want to say that Stallone is in fact approachable. So I think that might be the lie. I'm just gonna make that bold real quick on my little list. But I also, let's see, I believe the mosquitoes thing because I feel like they lacked foresight while making this movie, and that's like, if you're on location, that's something that anybody should have thought of, but they didn't because they're the people that made this. So I believe the mosquito thing. Author of the book sued to get his name off credits, but lost. Believable. But I don't know his name, and I didn't check the credits, so I can't confirm that. Stallone, in an interview, said that Bruce Springsteen. I believe that to be true because, like, that is one of those things where if someone like me is capable of thinking of that parallel, then someone like Stallone may have actually made that parallel.
Because someone like me, that's
yeah. Script for Cobra was originally a rewrite for Beverly Hills Cop. Isn't that a comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe that's they rewrote it to be this. So I'm torn between 1 and 5. I'm gonna go with my gut and say Stallone is actually probably somewhat approachable / down to earth, and they weren't forbidden to talk to him. So I'm gonna say that the fact that you said they were forbidden is the lie.
Okay, I'm gonna thank my grandma. She goes by, or used to, Muti, before she sadly passed away. She told me that Stallone was super full of himself and that he forbid people from looking at him and talking to him. And I thought that was in his like mansion, but maybe she was talking, maybe she heard about this movie and how people were forbidden to talk to him. I like number 2, that the mosquitoes were the reason to cancel the nighttime chase kill spree scene. Because I don't think that they would have scheduled to have the chase scene at night anyway, because of how hard it is to see anything. And they probably felt by then that they need the contrast of day to night, because most of the movie is dark and shitty and stupid already. So I'm going to go with number 2, that they were not planning on doing the chase scene at night ever.
Bob's looking at you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is. I see that.
I'm going to go backward because of how exciting this is.
Ooh.
So Stallone was originally cast for the lead in Beverly Hills Cop. You guys know who the lead was in Beverly Hills Cop, right?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. So Stallone was cast for that part and rewrote the entire thing. And they were like, this is violent, and this is not funny, and this is over budget. We're not making this movie. So he said, fuck it, I'm leaving this production.
Yeah, but
I'm making my own movie. And he made Cobra, based on Beverly Hills Cop original script.
It's not funny. What about the stuffed cheeseburger joke he made?
He also did say it was like Bruce Springsteen with a badge.
I figured.
The chase scene was originally at night because of mosquitoes. They changed it to daytime.
Oh,
and
shit.
Chris, you were exactly right. The supporting cast and extras were not allowed to talk to Stallone on set. The author of the book didn't sue. He just made his own version of his book, which I told you I'm picking for a later episode.
I see. Okay. So we lose.
Yeah.
Man, I started off so fucking strong this season. The last few
fucking tragedy.
Trash.
Okay.
Hey, it's still part of the season. You're still a winner in my eyes.
True. I win more than I lose, for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is a good season. This is a winning season.
Winning season. Yeah, Rob. Team win. I'll let you in on this one.
Thank you.
Bob just said it. Team win.
so
Chris and Rob
magnanimous of you. I
win.
appreciate
Good
it.
season. All right. Before he says anything else, let's throw it at the catch-all.
Time to have a little bit of fun with the catch-all. We're going to get our little nets. We're going to prance around like SpongeBob catching the jellyfish. And we're going to catch every darn little thing that we want to. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Okay.
Chris, real quick.
Go ahead.
I often check the worst movie ever made email, which people could reach out to at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. And for some reason, we get a bunch of Quora things sent to our account.
Okay, yeah.
And I was just checking just to make see if there are any emails or anything. And Quora Digest, as a gynecologist, what gets you mad? Is the question that's being sharing that.
Well,
so if anybody knows or is a gynecologist that listens to the show, go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Shoot us an email.
What grinds those lady gears? I know.
Tell us what gets you mad.
What pisses you off?
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Is it Stallone on a bike against the sunset in the beginning, or is it the bad guy? I didn't know, because the bad guy does arrive on a motorcycle, but you assume an opening like that is going to be the good guy every time.
I thought it was him too, because he had the same like haircut.
Right, but he drives a car.
Yeah,
he does. He does. He is seen on a motorcycle during the movie, though, isn't he?
Yeah. Someone
else.
else
At the very end. Anyway, bad guy cult knocking axes together in an industrial arena again.
So axe clinking was in my pitch.
It was. I'm just wondering if, like, No Holds Barred, I think second movie we did this season, maybe third. There's an industrial arena, and I think this is our third industrial arena where combat is undertaken.
Is our third?
It could be. I feel like I said it again somewhere along the line. And now
what was one?
One was No Holds Barred. The guy from the network, like World Television.
I thought that was two. I thought that was the second one.
No, well, yeah. That's the second episode of the season, right? That's.
Oh, okay.
But it was the first time we got on Deadly Ground. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because of the like oil drilling area or whatever. You're right. It could have been Doom too, I guess. Maybe we had 4.
It has to be. That's got to be a budget thing because you're on location, but it's a contained area where you could film without getting permits to close streets off. I think that's why action movies often have warehouses and shit.
Well, even one of our good movies that I can think of had an industrial arena.
Oh, Army of One. Yeah, I know.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Terminator 2.
Oh, yep.
At the end when they're like near the like industrial melted steel or whatever, and they're all fighting it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, crazy ugly bad guy out here shooting fruit. I wrote.
Yeah.
Negotiator. No one wants to hurt you. We want to help you. No one wants to hurt you. We want to help you. 10 times.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Where did he go to school?
Yeah.
Hey, that's Babe Ruth from The Sandlot. Movie from my childhood.
Yeah.
It turns out it wasn't the chief because he calls the older guy chief. But he's the captain or something.
Yeah.
Cobra, you're a disease and I'm the cure. Almost made worse dialogue. It's kind of the tagline for the movie, as we heard in YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I love when bad guys scream "die" before they turn to shoot the good guy.
Yes,
it's letting them know what your plans are. Awful soundtrack, Bob. I agree.
Yeah,
and the worst song was "Working Too Hard, Trying to Make a Living." I fucking hated that. All right. I wrote in I knew that we'd get to it before the catch-all, but it doesn't hurt to say it again. He cuts a piece of pizza with scissors. I put an exclamation mark next to it.
In the most bizarre way. He didn't cut a piece from a pie. He cut a piece in half. Not even half.
Not even half. He cut like a third.
The scene is set up like he's grabbing leftover pizza and eggs, but he opens the egg carton and then there's a bunch of gun cleaning stuff.
Yeah.
And it was all in the freezer. All of it was in the freezer. Did you notice that?
Just keeping it clean, I guess.
It wasn't in the fridge. It was in the freezer.
Weird. Extra weird. But yeah, I guess he figures that pizza has enough caloric value that you can survive off of one pizza for a really long time if you order meats and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll get a DiGiorno and I'll just cut it with scissors and eat a little triangle every day, once a day for 2 weeks. See how that goes.
I've been doing that for 2 years. I'm fine. Oh.
Now, were they culinary scissors, or does he just not give a fuck?
He just doesn't give a fuck.
He just doesn't give a
fuck. Night Slasher is a Night Stalker reference for sure, right?
Yeah.
And because it was around the same time, I think the Night Stalker was 84, and this was 86. I don't know how long the Richard Ramirez run was, but
it was in the news for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Stallone wanted a movie where he kills Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
That's what that is. The main bad guy has been on the pod. Oh, okay. So we did that already. I said it. I should just skip those. Lots of dietary dialogue between buddy cops.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing they talked about was the fact that Stallone ate healthy and he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a thing. They did it in Lethal Weapon too, I think. Lethal Weapon as well, not Lethal Weapon, the actual second.
Yeah, not the one that we mentioned before.
There's always oh man, that's just gonna kill you. And I'm 2 days away from retirement. And then they die in a hell on fire or whatever.
That's exactly right. I'm too old for this shit.
Very strange scene transition with robots, prostitutes, Bridget Nielsen, and pawn shops.
Oh my god, that was hysterical. I was my trailer is just my reaction. I would laugh so hard during that part. I had to pause it.
The gummy had already hit when I was watching this, and I was just I had to rewatch the scene. I was like, "Is this important? Is this part of the fucking movie?"
And for our younger audience, of course, he means gummy bears, just like Garbage Belly, the cop.
Just like Garbage Belly, yes.
Yeah, just like Garbage Belly. Yeah.
Yes. Investigation montage. That's what that was. It's just very strange to see like the street beats done with no dialogue or anything. They're just walking around. Like usually the people writing the movie like to add this stuff in so that the investigator seems like an investigator.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, I already mentioned Robert Tepper. Just so you know, I thought No Easy Way Out is awesome.
Yeah.
I've also thought Bridget Nielsen is gross like forever.
Yeah.
I've always thought she's nasty. I don't fucking get it. She's not saggy Gyllenhaal level, but she's just below.
She's not like top billing status.
Well,
No.
she always has the short hair, right?
Yeah, she has the short hair, and then she just looks like.
In this movie, she wore a wig the whole time. She had longer hair because that was her character, but she actually had short hair the whole time.
Yeah, I was never into that like 80s chic, like slick look on a little lady. It's just not my type. So whatever. I mean, good for you. You're nice and powerful, but like, I'm just not interested in Brienne of Tarth. You know, I'm just not. The molesty cameraman deserved the axe, I wrote.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he did.
Apparently, it was funny because he was slipping on his blood and stuff, but we didn't get to see that. I wrote that the van absolutely annihilates the security guard.
Yeah,
and it runs into concrete like at high speed, so it would have totaled for sure. Like they pancake the security guard between like the elevator wall and the van.
Yeah. Apparently, the stunt driver got hurt in that shot.
No shit.
That's fair.
Well, if it wasn't a crash dummy, then he's probably going to get hurt because they really fucking rammed into that wall pretty hard.
Yeah, it really did.
But it's weird because it's a murder scene in a parking lot. There's gunshots and cars crashing and shit. And they nearly destroyed the van, and then they drive away in it, this creepy destroyed van, out of the parking garage with cops in the area. They're at least close enough that we can hear their siren.
Yeah.
And nobody says anything. And here's another instance of this. It's when the bad guy, dressed as a janitor, is leaving the hospital covered in blood. And nobody cares.
Yeah.
He's covered in blood and he's the janitor. Like, do they have these mishaps all the time where you just like janitors are sweeping around? They just accidentally knock over pints of important blood that was taken from people for samples
Knocking
and shit.
Pints of important blood that's going in there.
He's just painting hazardous material containers.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. What's the bad guy doing anyway in the bathroom? Is he dyeing his hair? That's the disguise for him?
I don't know. That was weird.
I wrote, Rob, and you said this earlier, but I don't know if you guys recognize me with my hair dye and my glasses. He's like the ugliest person in LA, and he's a murder suspect. And they've done a draw up, like the sketch of him.
Yeah.
And he just dyes his hair and wears glasses and goes to the hospital himself instead of sending like goons to kill her. I don't fucking understand it. The only one that they have a sketch of, and they send him to go fucking kill the girl.
I think they did that. That had to have been with the continuity errors because he didn't have much screen time up to that point. So they had to get him in somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so. I guess.
Yeah.
It's because they liked his vocal fry he was doing. He and Stallone were competing vocal fry. Yeah. Pig. You're a fucking pig.
Sucker.
Did you know Cabretti was a lieutenant? They only told us once.
Yes, once.
Yeah.
Once. Now the Latino punks move their car for King Cobra, no questions asked.
Yeah. That whole exchange, it bothered me because, yeah, they were kind of like double parked or whatever, but does that warrant somebody ramming your vehicle out of the way, coming out, taking your cigarette and ripping your shirt, and then getting zero retaliation aside from someone kicking a hubcap?
Hey, Cobra is where the law ends and he begins.
That's right. I forgot about that one crucial plot point. Sorry.
Yep.
Samurai cop style police officer distracted by pretty nurse.
Yep.
I was drawing a lot of similarities between Samurai Cop and this movie.
So I made my sister and my brother-in-law watch Samurai Cop when they were visiting.
Nice.
And he was doing the Wikipedia rabbit hole, and I didn't want to say it on the show because I didn't know if it was going to be in fact or no fact, but I just remembered it. Yeah. The main guy from Samurai Cop was Sylvester Stallone's bodyguard. in real life.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Oh,
he was.
no shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was.
So he actually can do karate. How about that?
Yeah.
The nurse is clearly terrified. I'm like, just go get the cop, because she was like, I'll take care of it. I'll tell the janitor not to sweep or whatever. And then she's like really, really scared.
Yeah.
She gets the vibe.
Yep.
The Shining blade through the door ripoff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty clear ripoff. Bridget Nielsen's Knudsen just runs into a fucking wheelchair. She's trying to escape. She's not looking where she's going. She runs into a wheelchair, falls over.
Yeah.
If the cop lady is the only cop that's crooked, it's nonsensical, because there had to be somebody higher up than her. We never find out that that's true, but there had to be. Otherwise, she assigned herself to the witness protection case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have something for that. I'll add it now.
Shoot.
Apparently, the guy that was in Hellraiser.
Yes.
I don't know his name. The guy that was punched at the end.
Monty.
In the original movie, before edits, he was the kingpin of the underground movement. He was like the guy in charge of the New Order, or whatever the hell they called themselves.
Yeah. I like that better.
And when Stallone actually killed him or punched him or something at the end, to end the whole reign. So that made that would have fixed that error.
Yeah, that would have been better.
But
for sure. Driving on the sidewalk trope. Got a few of them coming up.
Yeah.
But he's going 100 on the highway and he spins the car around. Then he shoots. He's going in reverse on the highway now at 100 still. And he shoots at the truck 3 times and it explodes.
Yeah.
And then he spins the car back around.
And then he spins around again. Yeah, that's right. He's full speed.
And he keeps
full
chasing.
He doesn't even slow down or have any drag. Yeah, it's just
nothing. He's still right on their tail.
Yeah,
no problem. And then his car also has nitrous. It's a nice nitrous trope. Yep. Do we know, is that a thing? Like, can you shoot nitrous into your engine and go faster? Is that real, or is that just like a movie
I
thing?
think it is grounded in reality. Like, I think it for like muscle cars, because like muscle cars are not meant, not in this kind of application, but muscle cars are meant to do short bursts quickly. They're not meant for. It's not meant for long sustained driving though. It's meant for drag racing.
Yeah,
like Formula One racing or something like that. I could be wrong though, but that's what I gathered.
You'd figure this whole like the nitrous trope would have some backing, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is true. It just email us, let us know. Rob, where can they shoot us an email?
Oh yeah, www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Click the envelope and let us know about your nitrous insight.
And if you like what we do, why don't you
caress
caress the subscribe button on YouTube?
Yeah,
while you're there.
And if you dislike what we do, make fun of us, please email us.
Email us and make fun of us. We had just had an email last week or the week before, and we weren't made fun of nearly enough for my liking.
That's how we ended. That's how we ended up with Cobra.
Yeah, that is how we ended up with Cobra. So keep that in mind. If you really want us to do a particular movie, we will do it. No questions asked. If you fucking email us, but you have to also make fun of us. You must. Yeah. I want to hear what's wrong with me so that I can improve. Please.
Okay. I'll draft an email after the show.
Destruction of private property and business.
Yep.
I've got something attached to that. Poor hot dog guys in movie universes.
Yeah.
These hot dog guys trying to make a living just get their fucking hot dog stands blown up.
For years. That would be a great villain origin story where like this guy like he gets his 10th hot dog stand completely wrecked. The insurance company's like, we're not fucking cutting you another check. And then he just starts painting his face white and he's just like, I'm gonna show them.
He's going super Sabrett.
That's our movie. We're gonna rewrite an action movie from the hot dog vendor standpoint.
Oh my god, he's going red hot again. When did they agree to let him take her out of the city? The cops never agree to that. He's leaving with her, and they're like, let him go. Let him do it. Like, this is the problem. They never file any fucking like paperwork or anything for anything he ever does.
Nope.
Yeah, like the first time he assaulted his boss in the police station. That's like a 3-day ordeal of paperwork, suspension, like investigation.
Yeah, with pay maybe for that one.
Not when you're in the zombie squad.
No. You don't fuck with the zombie squad. That's a good point, Bob. Personal armory trope, commando style.
Yep.
So I think he's in the hotel, but he's just like showing all of us how many guns he has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cobra can hear that Knutson's eyes are open. I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be a joke that he's making or the like, man, he's good kind of content.
God damn.
Like, you remember in Commando, I'll go into Commando again, but you remember in Commando where the one of the good guys that like is just a henchman, basically good guy who's gonna die in a minute. He's like, you think I could smell them? And he's like, Arnold is like, I smell them coming upwind. Half hour ago.
He smelled like a twig snapping.
Right.
He could smell the bad guys like a half a mile away because he's that good. So I wonder if that's what Cobra is. He can hear that Knutson's eyes hadn't blinked yet because he's just that good.
He's that good.
I hate 80s romantic songs that sound like Mario 64 underwater levels.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. I love you forever. Do do do. You know, that kind of shit drives me nuts. I thought it was funny that, you know, like I think that 80s movies, 90s movies even do this often, but they buy a bunch of dirt bikes for the motorcycle gang. I think we saw this in I want to say it was Samurai Cop again. And Roadhouse.
Yep.
Anytime that there's a gang of bikers in a movie that doesn't have a lot of budget, they just buy dirt bikes, and it really takes the credibility away. Yeah. Not saying that I'm scared of your average Harley guy like he wants me to be, but like if you're on a dirt bike, it's even less credible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't the 10 bikers shooting at Cobra while they're chasing his truck later? It's later in the movie, but they're all like chasing the truck, and none of them are shooting at him.
Well, they seem like such easy targets. It almost seems unfair.
Yeah, seriously, they're just like going like 40 behind the farm truck that they abscond, and Cobra's got an AK-47. He's just shooting everybody, and they're not shooting back. They're just like sitting ducks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, the grenades are really funny.
Yep.
I don't know why, but they're funny. He's just like, and then blows up a bike, and it's just super funny. I don't know what it is. I got a few more. That's it. Bad cop shoots security. So the woman, the bad cop that assigns herself to be a part of the witness program, shoots a security guard instead of Ingrid Knudsen.
Yeah.
She could have shot either, but she shoots the security guard.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a murder cult just for murder's sake. Right?
Yeah.
Not as many as Cobra, but I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be the ringleader.
Yeah.
Cobra meat hooks the bad guy.
Yeah.
In the factory, in the industrial arena. He puts him up on it. Like, you've seen this before, probably 10 times in different movies, but he picks him up and then fucking hooks him like a cow.
And then he goes through a human-sized torch.
Yeah, a perfectly human-sized torch thing that's supposed to do what? Like dry the paint?
I guess.
Stiffen the steel? I don't know what the fuck that thing does. But it burns bodies pretty effectively.
Stiffen the steel. Please put that in there.
It's in.
I'm trying so hard to think of a Cobra penis stiffened steel joke, but I can't. So after this ordeal, go ahead, Bob.
It is what it is. Go ahead.
It is what it is. It's funny enough on its own. After all of this ordeal in the industrial arena, Ingrid Knudsen comes back and Cobra's like, "You okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And he's like, "You sure?" And that's the resolution. That's the resolution for her having been chased by 40 people trying to kill her. She's all good. And then I wrote, and I kind of mentioned already, but all is well. He doesn't have to do any paperwork. They just let him leave with the witness on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He just killed like 40 people. He doesn't have to fucking sign a paper that says that like it was all done legally, and there's no witnesses other than her. He could have murdered every single one of them in cold blood, and he doesn't have to sign a paper.
Over this summer, I've watched a few like police procedure movies from like the 60s and 70s, and they do a better job at police procedure than the ones from the 80s and 90s. Like way better.
Men in Black did a better job than this.
Yeah. They had like a whole audit area, you guys have
any mentions before we throw it to the Magic Marvel corner?
I do. I texted you guys about this. When Cobra is initially cleaning his gun with his frozen scissor pizza and listening to the news to figure out everything, they're like, the Night Stalker, he claims his victims. He claimed the 16th or 17th victim. He does it by sneaking into their houses at night and killing them with like a hammer or a blunt object.
Yes.
And all the victims we see are out in the street in public with an axe.
And they're women.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole thing about the Night Stalker is we're killing the weak. I'm like, no, you're ganging up on people. It's not killing the weak.
Yes.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah, it's the Night Slasher, guys, not Richard Ramirez himself.
Like, if anything, they should be recruiting Stallone as like their number one guy.
They really should. I mean, they can start calling themselves the Zombie Squad, and they can just start going after women in the night. I don't think Stallone or Cobra would have anything to say about that.
That's a better
King Cobra? What a perfect name for the ringleader.
It's true. Here's something to add to Rob's. That knife in the movie was actually made for the movie. It's a real functioning knife. Wow. It is not a prop. It is not a prop. It actually cut the lead guy a little bit.
Well, I wonder if they put it on the meat hook and threw it through to stiffen the steel a little before they used it.
Old steel stiffening.
All right, if we have nothing else, we'll throw it to Rob's Magic Marvel Corner.
Yeah.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Rob's Magic Movie Corner.
And this one's fitting because we're doing Spider-Man Homecoming. Which
how about that, Spider-Man?
I quite enjoyed, and I've also read that the other two are even better. So I'm excited to.
I liked them all. Yeah, I've seen them all. I like them all.
The third one's fucking fantastic, and Tom Holland would refuse to sign on to a fourth one unless it tops the third one, which might be impossible.
Wow.
But I haven't gotten there yet, so we'll see.
Nice. Bob, you or me? I think it's me.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's the best Spider-Man?
Honestly, it's too soon to tell, but I like Tom Holland.
Okay.
It's like I have an attachment to Spider-Man. I used to read I read all the Amazing Spider-Man growing up, and like all the variation, the sensational Spider-Man, the Fantastic Spider-Man. Like I do like
the Amazing
that story arc, but like it's hard to tell because this one actually does something that I criticize other Marvel movies for not doing is they don't tell you the origin story. It's straight to action, and he folds it in through dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a spider bit me. Such and such happened. I have these web cartridges. Like the end. It's just So the fact that we didn't have to deal with the sappy like Uncle Ben story or any of that shit, kind of it makes me like Tom Holland's version better because, but like if he did have that arc, I'm not sure if I'd like it as much. So right now I'm saying Tom Holland. We'll see.
Fair.
You said Uncle Ben. Is that like the rice guy?
Yeah, but it is. It is Uncle Ben.
His name in Spider-Man is Uncle Ben.
They actually changed the name of Uncle Ben's because of racism, by the way.
Really?
No kidding.
It's called like Ben's Recipe or something like that. Anyway.
Oh, fuck off.
Now it's called Uncle Tom's Rice.
Nice.
Chris stole my question, so I'm just gonna ask: have you seen any of the other Spider-Man films that came before this one?
Yeah, I've seen all the Tobey Maguire ones.
He's my Spider-Man, I think.
Okay, so then I only saw the very first one, the Tobey Maguire one. Do you prefer any other actor or too soon to tell, like you said?
I don't remember the other because they did
Andrew Garfield.
They rebooted the Amazing Spider-Man. I liked the writing in that one because they actually did the origin better than the Tobey Maguire ones, but that's not an acting thing. That's just like a writing thing. Yeah. So I think I like Tom Holland the best so far. I think it's just like, I think the fact that he was a kid and like he's super eager to like join the Avengers.
Yeah, I agree
made
with
it.
that.
It was believable. Like
Yeah,
he's
it is
constantly texting Happy to see
Yep.
if he could do a mission or whatever. Yeah.
And there's like FaceTiming and shit like that. Yeah.
All right, go, Chris.
Michael Keaton is a good actor capable of playing a sympathetic but menacing bad guy and an eccentric but steadfast good guy. What is your favorite non-comic book Michael Keaton film? And then I'll tell you mine.
Okay. I like Beetlejuice and I'm excited for the sequel. I'm not sure if that was ever a comic or not. But
I don't know.
Birdman, which is like comic adjacent, but I think that was just a fucking great movie.
Have you seen The Founder? I think it's a Netflix original.
That is on my short list, and I really want to watch it soon.
Yeah, I want to watch that too.
It's fucking
Is it good?
great, guys. Check
Is
it
it
out.
good? All right.
Yeah,
cool.
but then again, what is my opinion worth? I just like Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained, you piece of shit.
I can't.
Anyway,
believe it came out. I can't believe it.
Bob doesn't like Tarantino. He thinks he's a bad director. He said so.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
said
is that
those
what I
words.
said? Is that what I said? I'm gonna let that sit out there because I've been told I don't like Italians either, and I like Rob's anyway.
Yeah, he
I'm
doesn't like
mostly
Italians. He doesn't like Tarantino. Email us. Tell him why he's wrong. Tell him why you're mad, folks.
All right, Rob. I didn't watch this, as I've mentioned before. I don't watch Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But can the MCU exist without fucking Iron Man?
No,
Not the way they built it. No. I think overall, if you consider all the comic book properties and like they don't really they do all the world building in the comics, my recollection. I'm not like a massive fan, but I did like the Spider-Man comics quite a bit. But like the way they're doing the crossover, the fact that they started with Iron Man, he's kind of can't really do it without him.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's why they killed him off, because they were like, all right, that's enough. He doesn't have to be in every goddamn movie.
Yeah,
but he kind of does, because it's fallen off since.
To Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr.'s credit, like he does carry that role really well.
Oh
Like,
yeah, so well.
I love
He
him.
is one of my
He's awesome.
favorite in the MCU.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is great. I was thinking about being really crass for my third and making some kind of like, when you get older as Spider-Man, do you produce less webbing?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to say, why does a spider grant super strength? I never understood that. Ant-Man should be the one with super strength, given that ants can lift like 10 times their body weight.
Yeah, I don't know. That was it never really fully explained it, and like he doesn't have, like canonically speaking, I don't think Spider-Man does have super strength. He could jump and he's able to. He's very agile. So he doesn't. It's rare for him to get hurt in the first place. But he took a fucking beating and he didn't even bruise. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I
that
feel like
came
in every fucking Spider-Man movie and comic, he's got like 80 times the average man's strength, and I just don't understand, because spiders aren't that, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
I don't know. I think it is future.
They just want him to also have super strength,
Yeah, probably.
because then he's more powerful.
You're
Yeah.
in the future now, Rob, so you can't say that.
That's true. You are.
But my laptop clock is still an hour away, so I'm like looking at Nashville time, but I'm like, oh, it's almost 11 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes, it actually is.
Yeah, it actually is.
All
Yeah,
right,
so-
last question, and this is a personal one. Would you prefer that I keep myself from these movies or actually watch the next one when you do?
Oh, I don't give a shit. Let's see what's next, and I'll answer the question. So let's go to.
I can answer it for you, having seen it already. I'll tell you whether to bother about.
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that fucking watch that. That's the best one. It is literally the best MCU movie.
All right, Bob, watch.
Am
watch
I going to understand it?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, good.
If you
That's
know
important.
that Thor is a thunder god and you like Jeff Goldblum, then watch it.
Okay.
I saw the first Thor.
Okay, you're fine. You'll get it.
Nice. Okay.
You won't understand why he's where he is, but it won't matter much.
Nice. Marvel's very good at explaining everything to you every scene. So
Yeah, that's
like a
for
soap
sure.
opera.
You will like, if you don't like Ragnarok, then I no longer respect your opinion, and we'll vote with Rob to kick you off the pod.
Okay. Cool.
Inglourious Bastards wasn't that good. Sorry.
Oh my god, he said it on the pod. I wasn't even going to make him say it out loud.
Yeah,
but But I did accuse him, I think, earlier.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it that much.
You're weird. Let's start with the bad credit names.
And you're the biggest liar of them all. I am warning you. You tell me another and I'll rescue myself. That is a promise, Miss
Rose, sister Rose.
Of course. Another plant, Rose.
Bad credit names.
Okay, this is weird because, as I detailed before, Bridget Nielsen's character is Ingrid Knutson.
Yeah.
Janet Knutson is a person in the credits.
Oh. Okay.
Branscombe Richmond.
Ew.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I only have 2 more because there wasn't much. There really weren't a lot of people involved in this movie. But these ones I think are pretty good. Pretty strong. Claire No.
I like it.
And then, sorry, I need to amp myself up for this one. Marty November. That's our winner for this week.
That sucks.
And that's all we got. Let's throw it to the movie comparison.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the movie you've all been waiting for. It's time to compare the movie.
Old Dogs and Cobra. Worse.
Oh, God.
Negative 57 for Old Dogs. Cobra, just a 52.8, which is a great score, but it loses to Old Dogs unless you guys feel like those are close enough to wash, which I don't.
Nope.
Cobra, a 4.5 for Rob. Old Dogs, a 4 for Rob. So we have a 1-1. Nice job, Rob. 2 weeks in a row. So 1-1 headed into offensive. We'll skip that for now. We'll head to the minigame. Let's go to dialogue. What do you think was worse, guys? I'm going to say Old Dogs.
I'm going to agree with you on Old Dogs because I think failed comedy is worse than failed drama or action.
I think so too.
I agree. Production, sledgehammer editing for Old Dogs, or rewrites and cuts for Cobra. This feels like a wash to me. It feels almost like the same thing.
A little bit, but Cobra, in my opinion, was just a much worse production.
Cobra, at least Old Dogs suffered from the let's do a bunch of jokes and try building a storyboard around it, whereas Cobra, like as Bob revealed to us, had a completely different story and they couldn't salvage it really. So
Fair enough. Well, that's 2-1 then. So it's 2-2. Heading into acting, and I don't know. I feel like the acting is actually worse for Old Dogs personally.
I agree.
Well,
yeah.
Fair. Wow. Okay. Demerits, we don't have any yet. It may not be important depending on who wins the offensive minigame. Do you want to mention any demerits? You know what? We probably had some for Old Dogs. Let's see. I just didn't.
Child actors.
Yeah,
it was child actors.
That's right. Seth Green, bad child actors.
And something we didn't mention for Cobra yet was too much product placement.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I like that.
Cool.
And which do you think is more offensive?
Product placement.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Mac and Me. You know, that's the only one that can't get away with it. Also.
Right.
All right. So we're going Cobra for demerits, yes?
Yeah.
Which makes it, that's actually great because that makes it a 3-3 tie heading into the offensive minigame. Let's play that bumper.
I can kill you now, or I can relieve you of this gift. This black gift.
The not so mini offensive minigame.
Tan Dan Oompa Loompa laughs.
Okay.
Or murder and marketing. Murder and marketing.
I guess the murder marketing.
Really? Okay, I was thinking Tan Dan.
Go for it.
When it comes to offensive, I think Tan Dan.
Okay, I'll be impartial on this offensive minigame. You guys can agree or disagree. Homophobic hardy hars or cameraman making moves.
Oh my god, I don't know.
I guess because they're both kind of objectifying people. I guess the making moves because that's like a power play.
And the way he said it was really offensive.
It's amazing when he's like, Well, I guess if I have to soften you up, I'll take you out to dinner or whatever. If you're not willing to give it up yet, I guess I'll buy you dinner.
He's like, I want to marry you. I just want to fuck you, all right?
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that brings us to the bonus round. Cop, witness, bing-bong, or paralysis punchline.
God damn it. I guess paralysis punchline because like they were both consenting adults. It doesn't really matter. I mean,
okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Wow, paralysis punchline. That does it. So Old Dogs retains with a 4-3 win. Old Dogs is the worst of season 10, 11, or 12. We're not sure.
Yeah, 14. Yeah,
could be 14. Next week. It is a good movie week. We cannot wait to freshen our palates with some pulp in the way of fiction. That's right. We're giving Travolta all the credit he deserves for how much we beat him up on this podcast in Pulp Fiction. I think it's 90. What is it? 94, guys. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it's a fucking amazing Quentin Tarantino movie, like most of them are.
Yes.
Put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he's got a couple of.
This came out the year I was finishing high school, and I watched this on a senior skip day at the theater, and it lived up to every expectation. It was so good.
Well, let me ask you this: were you emboldened by the fact that Reservoir Dogs was so good, or had you not seen that?
At the time, I had not seen it yet.
And what did you think of it?
I like that one too.
Really?
That's it. Those two.
Yeah,
just those two.
Weird.
That was it.
Because he's got Django Unchained, he's got Inglourious Basterds, he's got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'll give you that he was involved in From Dawn Till Dusk, and that's not great. And he did cast Selma Hayek to put her foot in his mouth because he's got a foot fetish. All right, I get that. He choked one of the characters from Inglourious Basterds on stage at like some like late night talk show. I get, yeah. He says he hard R's in Pulp Fiction. Even you'll hear it next week.
Yes, he does.
It's off-putting. I get it, but he is an incredible director. And fuck you, Bob. Rob, why don't you tell him where to find us and all that?
www.theworstmovieevermade.com. You can find us streaming on streaming platforms. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on email. Bob does trailers. We do polls. Lots of goodies on the social medias. And there's, just, go to YouTube, subscribe. We put the videos up every Sunday. Episodes, the audio version goes live every Wednesday ahead of the Sunday release. So there's lots of stuff to, big things coming, guys. Big things coming.
Big things are coming down the line.
Yeah. That's it.
Your last word, Bob.
Oh, it has to be steel stiffening.
I thought for sure you'd say fuck Tarantino. So I appreciate that.
I'll save that for next week.
We're going a little long, so I want to play us out with Stallone Cut.
Ooh.
Do you even know what a Stallone Cut is, little dog? It's a pile of ugly meat, veins of tangy mayo, and drawn tightly over it all is a thin skin of sweaty pinkish cheese.
That's what the profs eat, little dog.
See y'all next week.